The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Pushing Through. I'm Nicole.
Oh, Andrea, sorry.
Mamas, your responsibility to nurture the relationship with your kids don't stop when they turn 18.
And kids, don't have your mama out here looking crazy.
Do I look crazy?
Yes.
Okay. I don't even know what to say to that. This week, I want to talk to Andrea about work. And this is really prompted by, first of all, she got a new job, and during this panoramic, pandemic, whatever, it's been real interesting. And I wanted to kind of compare and contrast my perception of work versus your perception of work. And I also want to hear what you think about work based on what you see me do or what you think I do. So I'm gonna start. For me, I feel like first of all, I'm Gen X. Y'all probably know that, right? For me, I feel like we're the last generation of you work at this company and you stay there until you retire. You put your 30 years in and you turn 65 and then you say, I'm retiring. You have a retirement party and then you leave and then you go travel and have fun. That's how I perceive work. You work hard, you move up the ladder, you work until your retirement age. Even though I will say this, one thing that has changed for me, I don't want to work until I'm 65. I decided that I actually want to try my hardest to retire in the next 7 years. So I'll be like 51, 52. So that maybe, again, I'm like the end of that generation of the old school way of work, but then also I got a little bit of the millennials, where it's like, What about you? Like, what do folks your age, how do y'all think about employment and work?
Well, I'm sure you've seen on TikTok, basically just, we're not loyal to employers because employers are not loyal to us, period. And that's proven. Like, there's no argument. There can't be no argument because we all saw it as a result of the pandemic. We all saw it. You've seen it because I had a job. And you saw I did not have one for a long time after that. So,
yeah, they sent you home. Or did you come home? Because I feel like I told you to come home.
You didn't tell me to come home, but I felt like I needed to come home. And they said, you can do that. but you will not get paid. And I was like, honestly, that's fine.
What's the damn point?
I was like, well, if I'm not getting paid, that's fine. I'm not spending gas to go to work. I will be cool for a little bit. I'll probably come back in a couple weeks because, I'll get a check and then I'll be good for like at least a week or two. And then I'll just go back.
And then we thought
I never came back.
Well, I think we also thought the pandemic wouldn't be 2+ years counting either.
Well, once I got a call while I was like in like a few days in, and they were like, yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and place you on I think it was a furlough. I just never got called back. I don't know. And then the same thing happened to my boyfriend where he, had to stay home because, we both don't need to be getting COVID. And then his store completely closed because of the pandemic. And so they had nowhere to put him if he did come back. So, it was just one of those things though where it was like, dang, like I felt like it could have been handled where it was like, well, we have a spot for you at this store when you come back or something, but I know it's just business. And so to me, it's like, it's just business, but that's the same thing on my side. It's just business. I offered you, I'm offering you a service, I'm helping this company and it's just business. I don't want to work anymore. I want to go find something else to do. There's no mutual interest anymore. I'm good. So I just feel like that's how we feel about work, and companies are not loyal to us. If something happened to me, they don't really necessarily care. Like they are going to find somebody else to do the job that they need done. So it's like, that's how we feel about it. Like for what? Like, why am I going to sit here and break my back and, ruin my mental health and continue to go somewhere where like I'm not really valued? And I mean, I guess certain companies do value their employees, I guess, but I think there's an extent, because if it's no longer beneficial, whether or not they value you, if it's no longer beneficial, like they're gonna sever the ties.
Right.
Like there's no reason. And I also feel like when you're too loyal to a company, or too good of an employee, they don't want to move you up because they like how you do the work in the position that you're in. And, you end up being stuck and being punished by getting more work and not being moved up. So, because it happens to me all the time. Or you get that thing where they're like, they'll nitpick you because they feel like you're not ready, and it's usually always something stupid. So I don't know. There's been a lot of things I've experienced in different jobs, and it just made me realize that I really don't care about 2 weeks notice. I really don't care if my employers don't like me. I really don't care. And I've been without a job so long that I really could care less if I end up without one again. I'll just find something else to do. It's fine.
And the thing about that is, and as I'm listening to you talk, it's like, I mean, we can't be mad. And when I say we, I mean like businesses. I don't own a business like that, like a, big company, but it's like, we can't be mad because I think a lot of this is our own doing. Like we created this, and now y'all, millennials and younger, because you're Gen Z, are like, no. And I also think, I don't know if you saw this with me specifically, but I also think your generation, starting with millennials and down to yours, saw y'all parents work, and y'all like, what the hell is the point? What is the reason? Like Cardi, what is the reason?
No, yeah.
Why? And that also may be part of it. And again, like for me, I'm a younger Gen X. So I'm not older. I'm one of the younger, kind of 1978, kind of toward the end of Gen X. I'm paying attention to what the millennials are doing, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to stay nowhere till I'm 65. And I've also personally have seen at least 2 incidents in my work career where people were either in retirement or close to retirement and they died before they left. And I'm like, do all that work.
Yeah.
And you don't even get the benefit of it because you did.
I'm not dying with no company.
You done stroked out. You done diabetes. And also I would say too, for me being a creative, someone called me a creative and I was like, damn, I am a creative, right? For real. That there's so many other things that I'm interested in, and I can't really like do that thing and do this thing. So it's weird because I do have professional aspirations. I do desire to kind of move up at work professionally because I went to school for a lot of the stuff that I know how to do and I feel passionately about it. But I also realize some of that stuff I can do in other places. I can teach, right? I can do other things. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, you can still be passionate about the work you do, but
you ain't got to do it in the space.
No,
like
because you can put that money in your pocket. I learned that. That's why I stopped doing sales. I'm not about to sit up here and make somebody else money and at a company, and then I'm getting a minimal paycheck, but I'm looking at sales and like I'm looking at the thing and it's like I made this company $1,000 today and I just went home with $100 and I'm struggling. You know what I mean?
And that product that you're selling, you sold $1,000 worth of product that cost $100 to make, right? They were able to flip that and make $1,000 off of something that cost $100 and gave you $100. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, so I just like look back on it. It's like all the begging for hours to be able to survive and stuff, so that I can, you know, go there and then for them to tell me my sales are not good enough, or to tell me that because I don't smile enough. And it's like, bro, I don't have time to sit here for you to tell me that. Like, you know, my time is only worth this much to you. It's good. My time is way more valuable than that. And even if, you know, even if it's not, like, you don't get to determine that. So I'm good. I'm straight. So that's why, like, even the job I have now, like, being work from home, cool. I'll be sitting there, you know, I'm listening, doing my work, but I could do something else, or, you know, I can sit there and I'm sitting in a comfortable chair. I can, you know, work on my terms. You
have more control over your time.
Yeah, like I don't have time to be sitting up here and like my feet hurt, my back hurts standing all day, and then you telling me I'm not smiling. Yeah, my feet hurt. So no.
Yes, my feet hurt.
So no, that's why you see that. That's why you see we don't stay at jobs long. That's why you see, you know, people cussing out customers, and because I for sure, yeah, I was that one. So yeah.
And something you said, and it really actually hit me like boom. You were like, you know, you don't get to tell me what my time is worth. And I'm like, I don't think my generation has ever thought about that. Because for me, I'm still very much old school. Oh, I got a good performance evaluation. I got an that's outstanding. Oh, I got a raise. You know, very much still tied to those things having value.
I don't like
but
that.
I'm at the edge of it, so I still are kind of like, I can't walk away because it's too much stuff that's dependent on me to keep afloat right now. But I do see a different path.
Yeah, because I don't like all that. Even the performance evaluations, I just be like, oh, okay, Master thinks I did good. Like, please.
You know, and this is the other thing.
Please.
This is the other thing. So again, you know, I'm in school. I'm getting my doctorate in organizational change and leadership. We've been talking about stuff like that. The value of performance evaluations, that they're really not valuable because they tell an employee what they did back here, but we should probably be focusing on what's going on moving forward. Like, why are we talking about? It's weird.
And then that determines a raise. Like, so, oh, I'm sorry. Now that you feel like I did decent, I get a 10% raise, 10 cents raise. Not 10%. That's like too much for employers. 10-cent raise. And so it's just like, oh, 10 more cents an hour.
Congratulations. It's weird.
Now I can afford to buy that loaf of bread instead of this one.
But and there's this weird thing because there's this thing of pay for performance. But that has its downsides too, because then if it's pay for performance, if you figure out a way to do stuff more efficiently, are you gonna tell your coworkers? Hell no, because you want the bonus. So it's like it's all of these things about work are so weird, and the more you really start to think about it, it's like, what are we doing and why? And how come? And what's the reason?
And it just sucks though. It sucks though because there's jobs that do, you know, there's employers that do actually, you know, have benefit packages and then things like that. So there's people who maybe feel like they like the security of having a job, and then there's people who prefer to own a business. But even that, like, it's still kind of weird because there's people who like feel like the only way to go is to own a business, and like, you know, like, I don't know if you noticed, like, whenever a stimulus will come out, people will be like, all right, y'all better take this stimulus check instead of buying crab legs and go and invest it into an LLC. And it's just like, what if I don't want that? Or what if I don't have money to do that? Like, I'm about to go buy
the know-how. It's not just that simple. Once you get the LLC, you're supposed to know what you're supposed to be doing.
You're supposed to be starting a business. How about I need to eat today.
Well, and the
bills are due today.
The other thing about that too, and let's talk about that. So I was on an episode of the Pyro Power Hour with Kwame and Kyrie, and they were talking about the disparities in pay for Black women. So I had told him that on LinkedIn I saw where this one woman said, I think a couple years ago, Black women made like 62 cents for every dollar that a white person made. But recently it actually got lower. It's like 50 something cent per every dollar. And it was like, wait a minute. But one of the things that I actually disagreed with the person that was making the post, she was talking about that's why we need to be entrepreneurs and open our own businesses.
No.
And one of my friends is a nutritionist, and he said, I get it. He said, but we still also need to push back on those systems that create this structure, because everybody can't open up a business. You guess what? You still gonna need the grocery store clerk. You still gonna need the public health people, to the nurse, the physicians, the hospital workers. You're still gonna need. So everybody can't go into business by do their own thing. People still need to do. So it was interesting to hear that, especially, and I don't know if you've heard this before, Black women are the most educated. Like, we have a lot of education overall, like degrees and all this stuff. So why is our pay going down instead of going up? That don't make no sense. And I think it goes back to what you said.
Everybody's pay is going down because
who's determining who the hell the value of our time? Who? And it's like, why is it you and not me?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I really told employers what my rate was, and they're like, yeah, we can't give you that. Okay, bye.
Well,
like,
sorry.
Yeah, but it's crazy. They'll be like, yeah, no, we can't do that at all. Like, we can do this. And they'll try to talk you down. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm not doing it. So find somebody that will. That's great.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking, like, dang, the person that will should know that this work is worth more than that. But they don't.
They don't.
And so it's trash, really. I mean, and it sucks too, because like, you would think with the way, like, prices are, that like the hourly would be more, but the government incentives are gone, so companies are like, well, we don't care. I mean, and half of them ain't even really hiring either. That's the crazy part. So it's like all this stress for like searching for jobs, and
nobody's really hiring. I don't know.
It's crazy.
I just wonder when all of this really started, because I think there was a point in time where they started. I think where it started. This is where I think. They started to outsource jobs. I don't know if you weren't even probably born. I probably was a little kid. But there were a lot of factory jobs, a lot of jobs that people could hold where they could take care of their families, buy a home, live comfortably. Working at a factory making refrigerators. I'm just going to throw that out there. Or making computers, or there used to be a Firestone tire factory going down. If you go down Manchester far enough, that was an old Firestone tire factory down there. Black folk would work there and get a decent wage and do things. But then they were like, dang, but it's cheaper.
Yeah.
If we built that Firestone tire plant, and I'm making this up, y'all, I don't know for sure. I know they probably did move to Mexico. If we put it to Mexico, we could pay them less. But then what people don't realize is you've just taken it from one place and caused a problem in another place.
Yeah, because then they're mistreating the people
down there.
They're mistreating them, or because they're undocumented or whatever the case may be. They're like, well, you shouldn't even be here in the first place, so you can't.
Or their wage laws are different. Their safety laws are different. You got people working in factories getting their fingers cut off. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, it goes back to capitalism. It goes back to this thing about money. And it's like, who are we really, this whole idea of profits, people over profits. I'm about to say profits over people. Lord. We want people over profits, but we have lost sight of that. And I think that's what the problem is. And when we get into situations like this one with the pandemic, and people have to stay home to stay safe, then we realize we've created a big mess, because guess what? No, I can't stay home, because if I do, I don't get paid, and I can't pay my rent, and I can't buy food for my kids, and I can't. So I can't. And it's like, I'm not.
That was a whole mess too. That was a whole mess too. Like, people that were like doing like the freelance, like the delivery apps and stuff like that were having to go out while it was like very high risk to be out. And like, they were making good money, but it's like, at what cost?
At what cost?
Like, you could literally like find out tomorrow that you're sick, and then that's it. Like,
the grocery store clerks, people that would check your groceries, they were under so much risk of exposure. A lot of them
that's why
sick.
I stopped going to work, because I was like, you're not about to sit here and only give me 17, 18 an hour
to risk getting something that could
like, because I'm in close contact with people, because they're like, look at my phone, and I'm like, your phone is nasty, and you're like coughing, and it's just like, that's the nastiest thing, is your phone. The phone is nasty.
You're right about
and
that.
I'm like, I'm not touching it. And then I'd be sick, and y'all gonna fire me anyway, because I can't come to work.
And you ain't got no health insurance.
So no.
Bus drivers, when the pandemic first hit, them bus drivers was getting sick because they was on the bus with all them people coming in and off them buses. A lot of them died.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, it's like folks that stand to lose the most, that are the most vulnerable, often are the ones that are treated the worst. And it's like, what the hell? So now I'm like, you got me thinking about Beyonce talking about quit your job. I can't quit my job though. I actually love my job.
Yeah, I like mine. It's cool. But
So
yeah.
I think that's the other key too, finding something that is meaningful, and that could be hard, especially when it's like, well, I'm just trying to survive right now. Hey, I'm finna go work at Rainbow. I mean,
Yeah.
but you can love Rainbow, you can love what you do and find joy in it, just to kind of get by. But it's tough. I'm just like, I don't even know what the answer is, y'all. I don't know. We need a revolution. Can you lead it, please? Because
I gotta be a black woman job.
Because I'm fixed to retire.
We already do all this, the leg work. I'm good. Tired.
Well, let's follow the Nat ministry. We finna go rest. That's what we finna to do. And that's the other thing. See, this conversation, we gonna be talking all night because everybody want us to do everything. They want us to speak out about Roe v. Wade. They want us to speak. No, that's y'all. That's y'all. Y'all did that.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
Gotta educate, speak out, march, this, that.
I don't do it no more. I'm taking a nap.
And y'all still don't like us, so
Still. That ain't right.
I'm quiet. What you think about this? Nothing. I don't have no thoughts.
No opinion.
No thoughts.
I'm just trying to make it to the next day. All right, y'all. We talked about a lot.
Yep.
For the moms, what do your kids think about your work in general? How's it different from what you believe in? Young folk, what y'all talking about? What y'all thinking about? What y'all feeling about work? Are you having the same ideas and thoughts as Andrea? It's a lot. It's a lot. Make you yawn and be tired. Like, it's just too much.
Oh, yeah.
So catch us next week. We are here. I can't even, what the heck? I'm just so in this conversation. I'm like, what I'm trying to say. We here every first, third, and fourth Thursday, 6 p.m. on the Pyro Media Network. Remember, mamas, your responsibility to nurture the relationship with your adult kids does not stop when they turn 18.
And mothers don't have your and mothers and children don't have your mother looking crazy.
All right, y'all, we'll see you next week.
I don't know what I was thinking about, but
it's okay. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.